Sup, sup,
Yay! Perfect. Okay, what's up, monsters? Hello to everybody tuned in live on radio at RX931 on Twitter. If you have any questions, what's up to everybody who is tuning in over on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch? Hi, guys. Very exciting episode.
Yeah,
Show.
diba? Yeah, it's a series. It's a series.
I
We
know.
are now on season 10 of what we got for you, today. This is a special day. Why? Because we know that Christmas is just around the corner, just a couple of days away. And what completes a person's heart than toys? Now,
Mm,
when we talk toys, we talk collections. And in specific time, sometime in the 90s, there were a group of men and women that helped save the world. We are
wow.
talking about the Power Rangers. And
Yes.
also, sometime in the 2000s, there was a great band that provided us many hits. Now,
Mm,
this man has taken on both of them and continues to do so. To join us on the show, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Chris Cantada.
Hey
Chris.
guys, good
How are
morning.
you? Okay,
Thank
the
you
intro.
for joining us. Yes. Oh my gosh. First of all, I think we can all agree tons of fans watching right now. I mean, your YouTube videos. I don't know if you remember, but I met you before. And actually, the person that introduced me to you was Chris Newsom. He loves you. He loves you. He was like your biggest fan, and he would always talk about your videos and all that. So, thank you for joining us on the show today. Before anything else, how are you? How have you been, our very own Power Ranger?
Been a This past month has been uh, a mixture of super highs and super lows.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't know if you guys know, like 2 weeks ago we were supposed to have this interview, but uh, surprise, surprise! When I woke up like Sunday morning at 4 a.m., I woke up to an excruciating pain. Like I've never felt this much pain, and then I was rushed to the hospital, and I thought it was just a normal stomach ache, like a really painful stomach, but apparently it was appendicitis. So I was in the hospital 8 a.m., 5 p.m. They cut me open, and then wow, what a nice way to spend your Sunday.
Oh my gosh. First of
Yeah,
all, you are
yeah.
like so badass. Like, ow. Oh, I have a pain in my. Oh, okay. Let's go to the hospital. Whatever. Holy Chris, that's insane.
Appendectomy. My goodness,
It,
so
it's actually more than the. Wow, I was wincing and I was crying to my wife. This is the first time my wife saw me in my most vulnerable, I think.
Most what I think so, dude. I mean, your appendix was like, "Yo, help! We're dying here." But good to know you're okay. You're better
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
Goodness, and you're
yeah.
with us today. So, what an exciting way to welcome the holidays for you, huh?
Yeah,
can't eat much. That's all we know. And you're going to be on that diet, right? You're going to be on
yeah.
that, let's just say, soft diet, as they say. But welcome. It's been when it comes to toy collecting, when it comes to Power Rangers, when it comes to a lot of things, everybody looks forward to you and your posts. Now, just to take it back a little bit, we all know you for Sponge Cola.
Well,
And then all of a sudden, we're like, okay, so Chris is venturing on to Star Wars. You were into Star Wars, but you had the whole desert trooper
Yeah, I
getup
had a
going on.
stormtrooper. Yeah, yeah. During that
Yes.
time,
So what got you started into all of this?
I, I don't know. I just embraced my inner geek
Hmm.
since
aw.
since grade school, and I felt that very much from all the bullying. But yeah, when Sponge Cola, uh, when I was with Sponge Cola, I was still super geeky. Like I even wrote in one of our albums, I wrote a song about Star Wars, low key about Star Wars, and yeah. While I wasn't performing, I was going to like ToyCon, geek
Hmm.
conventions, going to Green Hills buying toys, and then I eventually, my friend said, you've been buying so much toys, you should get the ultimate toy, your own stormtrooper armor, like legit, hindi lang yung plastic, like the legit stuff. So apparently there was a international group called the 501st Legion, which is now like everyone, I guess everyone in the Star Wars community who they are. But at that time, during what was it, 2007, parang it wasn't really that known. There was a Philippine contingent of that international group, and I joined them, and then we go, wearing our armor to like events, and yeah, during weekends I play gigs. During weekdays I dress up as a stormtrooper.
Mhm.
That
I
that was
mean,
that was my geeky. That was the level of geek when I was in a band.
but can you imagine though, right? When you actually wear the outfits, the armors, the kids they light up so much, and they get all. But we all know that the stormtroopers, they're kind of a villain side. Did anybody try to kick you? Did anybody try to beat you up?
Oh, I got a lot of smacks in the helmet
Oh my gosh.
from not from kids, from adults. I'm like, damn it.
Chris, I think something that a lot of people appreciate about you is that you are so unapologetically yourself. Like, you keep saying, I'm a geek, I'm geeky. Like, yeah, I was in like this really big band and, we were touring and all that. But like in my spare time, I would go to Comic Con and Toy Con. I love that about you. And I love that you really embraced it because it also gave birth to such amazing content. I mean, your YouTube channel, millions upon millions of views, different videos. What made you decide to take your geekiness? I'm using it as a compliment, okay, guys, because I love somebody who is geeky. I am dorky in my own right. Rico is as well. So, what made you decide to, take it a step further, take it up a notch, and go on YouTube and be like, everybody, this is me, and
Me.
this is what I love.
Um, it was by accident. Like up to that point, I was still a working musician.
Uh huh.
Even when I left Sponge 2009, I was sessioning. I was teaching drums in a school in Rockwell. I don't know if you remember that school in Power Plant Mall. But yeah, at that time, let's say 6 years ago, it was the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers. And growing up, I was a big fan of Power Rangers. I was a big fan of a lot of things, talaga. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, you know, like that. And I was a pretty chubby kid. So at that time, when I was very young and Power Rangers was up, parang I didn't want to dress up as a Power Ranger because, kids are mean. And when I got thinner in my adult years, and I already ventured into the cosplay world with Star Wars. I wanted to try my hand in the spandex world. So I got my first
So long.
I got my first Power Ranger costume, the Green Ranger, and then parang it wasn't complete for me until I made my own morphing video. A simple iPhone. It's Morphin time in my regular attire, and then I super cheesy effects from iMovie, and then I transformed into my Power Rangers costume. So I placed it on my YouTube channel because at that time everyone had YouTube channels, but just to have one as a Google,
Yes.
because you're a Google, you're Gmail, but it was nothing was happening really. But during that time, I uploaded my first YouTube video with that type of content, and then I just left it for a few months. I was playing music, I was doing drumming stuff, and then I went back to it like a couple of months after. And then it was like hundreds of thousands of views, and I was like, huh? So I made a similar video after, and then it just clicked. And then I guess to make the long story short, I made that type of content. I added stories na, so it became
Yeah.
like a skit that eventually became a more, I guess, a more polished version of a normal skit, and that's what I've been doing professionally for, I guess, 6 years.
6 years.
Wow.
6 years, Rico, millions upon millions of views. I mean, some of his like his Zero Ranger 5 Black Morph problem, 5.3 million. That was like six
Dude.
years ago.
Yeah,
Imagine.
that was one of those videos na kinda venturing on the skit thing, but it was parang no basic story yet. It was just like a transformation video. Those were the videos that helped really get the base of the I guess the subscribers who
Yeah,
eventually subscribe.
it's
You know, Chris,
incredible.
was it tough transitioning to the spandex world?
You know what? I thought I was thin. When you wear spandex, even if you're thin, there are places you can't hide.
Uh,
So
Okay.
I like I learned the term thin fat at that
uh,
time. So I
Yes.
actually because of that I went to the gym
uh,
to kind of bulk up. I mean, if the stomach stayed the same, might as well make the chest a bit wider. So
uh,
there's still that V thing as opposed to just like a parallel, two parallel lines.
Okay, to the monsters tuning in on radio, if you're wondering, why are we talking about spandex and getting into spandex? Okay, we got Chris Cantada on the show. He is talking to us about his amazing journey from Sponge Cola to being a professional YouTuber who creates one of a kind content. I mean, Chris, how did your bandmates, your friends, your family react when your video started garnering 37 million views,
wow.
5 million views, 16 million views? I mean, so many people struggle to just get 1,000 views on their YouTube, especially because you started 6 years ago. You know, not a lot of people were super into YouTube yet, but they were
Yeah,
watching,
that's true.
you know, as compared to now where everyone wants to be a content creator. Back then, just to get a million views was a big deal. Dude, like 37 million views. How did your bandmates, how did Sponge Cola feel? Did they even know? How did your family feel about it? What was the overall reaction?
I think it was to some of my close friends. It was just it's a normal Chris thing.
Wow!
But because I was so as what you said before, I didn't hide my geekiness. I didn't hide my love for all sorts of fandoms. So I guess some of them just naturally thought, oh, this is the next phase in Chris's geekiness. But yeah, I guess you're right. Like it's in my head at that time. It was pretty hard. It was that number 1 million views was like a crazy number that I never thought I would ever attain because just like what you said I guess when people start out just to get the 1,000 views is really crazy and hard. But I feel like it was a mixture of luck, timing, and the fact that locally, parang I was the only one doing something in that
Yeah.
that niche
Yeah,
because Power Rangers is yeah a lot of Power Ranger fans, but it's basically an
Mm.
American thing. That's why the number one country who views my stuff, they're in the States for sure.
Yeah, kasi here in the
So
Philippines, is ano, in the Philippines, we're more of Bioman,
exactly.
Shider, and I'm a big fan of the Power Rangers growing up. I mean, I cried when Tommy died and turned into the White Ranger. Yeah, we had to run home on a Friday to actually watch that. And it was such a monumental thing. Now, when you started creating your content for Power Rangers here in the Philippines, was there like a community that reached out to you, or were you the president of the community?
the Society of Power Rangers Filipinos.
Just like what you said, the Philippine market was more into the Super Sentai, Bioman, Maskman, the Japanese stuff. And just like all fandoms, there are team Power Ranger, team Super Sentai. And when I started out, because I was pretty vocal about, you know, it's when you like Power Rangers, it doesn't mean you hate the other, right?
Yeah.
May away.
There are just some people who think that if you like this, you hate the other. So
Mm.
there were uh, a lot of resistance, I would say. Just think, because it was 6 years ago. I haven't really thought about it in a while. But yeah, my God, there were a lot of the they call it the Super Sentai purists
Mhm.
who hated what I did. I had a couple of Facebook pages that were anti Chris Cantada, which is so
Are
funny.
you
They were
serious?
dedicated to it, huh?
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's pretty funny thinking about it now, because not to toot my own horn, but where are they now?
Ah,
But imagine, no,
there you
Carla.
go. It's a lesson to everybody tuned in, Haters, where are you now? How you doing, right? You're still on the screen typing mean things. Rico, you were saying?
With it, may chismis pala pag ganun. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
I guess with every fandom, meron din sa Star Wars. There's also in any other. There's always gonna be people who are passionate about something, and then when they see someone who is not as equally as passionate as you, they will hate on them.
Ah.
I try to promote, like, just love both, be a fan of both, and if you don't like something from another person, why have to bring them down? That was my whole thing.
Amen. This is a man we need to stand. Chris, you've been doing this now full time, basically. You've been dedicating hours upon hours of your life on this content, and your channel is just filled with so much goodness. Like, I mean, when people want to escape, when they need entertainment, they can really just head on over to your channel. And it's something that you've been doing for years. I gotta ask, I mean, do you miss music? Like, do you miss being part of a band? Do you miss making music? Or is this your YouTube channel, your toy collections and all that you do now? Is this really where you feel like you were meant to be in your life? Because I mean, you were part of like a really big band.
It's so weird, because I remember ever since I held a drumstick when I was like grade 5, after watching That Thing You Do, I knew
Wait,
I
that's
knew I knew for a fact that I would, do this for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
So it's just so funny how, things change. Life just throws you curveballs, whether good or bad. And I felt this YouTube curveball was, I guess, one of the best things that ever happened to me. But
mm,
there are moments pa rin, uh, when I'm like looking at YouTube, and then a Foo Fighters video just pops up, and I just go on a black hole of just watching live videos of bands that I used to love and adore and was inspired by when I was in high school and college, and I'm like I miss. There's a certain thing that you miss, like the performing and the sweat and the cheer and just bonding with your bandmates. But I guess if I were to pick right now, I would still pick, weirdly enough, YouTube and what I'm doing, because it's something I do on my own. Like like I'm the boss. I decide everything, and then, syempre, when you're in a band, you decide as a band. But in a band like Sponge Cola, there are more factors. Not a lot of people, when I left Sponge Cola, they thought, "Why would you leave? Why would you leave Sponge Cola?"
Mhm.
yeah.
At that time, because there were, it's not just about performing. If it
Mhm.
was just about performing, then I would stay. But there's a lot of factors. Like, I guess in every industry, there's like politics and stuff. So,
Mhm.
and being a band like Sponge Cola, which is like at the top of their game at that time, there's a lot of business aspects as well.
Yeah.
And I joined. I went into music to play,
Mhm.
And I guess I wasn't just uh, uh, like every like other people like my peers in the music industry. I guess I just wasn't as uh, uh, passionate about that side. But
Mm.
there are a lot of, and I tell Yael all the time, and I'm very vocal about this, that I feel like Sponge Cola right now, or in the past few years, they're like so like Eraserheads level of
Mhm.
my when I was in like grade school. So I feel like the combination of members right now in Sponge Cola, it's perfect.
Mhm.
So it's weird saying that because I'm like I was the former drummer, but as a fan, when I watch Sponge Cola now, it's like that's one intense, hardcore, uh, very closely knit and tight band for me. So parang it's not like, oh, I want to go back to Sponge, because I feel if I went back to Sponge, it wouldn't be as powerful as they are now.
Well,
Wow.
Chris, though, thank you for sharing that with us, especially for all the fans of you and the band, and it gave a lot of answers to your side of everything. But it's just that we understood that you had a calling of morphing and saving the world, and we are with you in all of this. You know what I mean? So, and we are excited now. When you came out as with the Power Rangers thing, is there an OG, let's just say a brand for the outfit that you got to get, or you get yours made, custom made here? Did you
Oh
have
yeah.
somebody make it for you?
I guess in the whole cosplay community, the whole uh, if you want to get high quality stuff, you have to have someone make it for you.
Mm.
I don't think there is a brand right now that makes costumes that are at par with what we see on television.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when you buy a Halloween costume, the Power Rangers, it's like a foam. It's
Mhm.
like a foam one piece with a plastic mask.
Uh,
So I had to research talaga uh, who makes really high quality stuff here, and I got to learn that there are a lot of really talented costume makers here in the Philippines.
mhm.
But the one I went to when I was starting out, he also started out. So it's like we went up together, because now his stuff are being ordered internationally now. So I'm happy for that we kind of both started at the same time. But yeah, he makes fiberglass helmets
Mhm.
and spandex and all that. It's like a husband and wife team. The wife is a seems she teaches sewing in school, so she's
Ah,
the one who makes the spandex, and then the guy makes the helmets.
galing,
That's so cool. I love that you support local as well. Sorry, I just have to ask, Chris, you said earlier, Power Rangers, it really is more of like an international thing, like an American thing and stuff. When your channel exploded and your videos started going viral and you got millions upon millions of views, were there any like international celebrities or figures that you were shocked had seen your videos and maybe reached out or shared it on social media? Have you ever had any of those encounters? And if so, tell us who are
Uh,
fans of Cantada.
you know what the best thing about this journey is, there are things that you go into this YouTube thing not knowing what would happen, and one of the best things is I actually get to work with Power Rangers actors already, and it's such a great feeling, especially when I was starting out, and then you go to these conventions abroad in the States, and there are Power Rangers actors there, and then they do a double take on you, and then they say, "I know you," and then I'm like, "Well, I know you," and then
ah.
and then it sparks a relationship, and then I I actually during the course of all of this, I got to create films with almost 15 actors already.
My
So
God.
yeah, it
Chris,
was.
incredible.
Who's the OG Power Rangers that you've come to meet?
I got to meet. Actually, I got to meet every OG already. But the ones I got to film with were the original Green Ranger, original
Hmm.
Red Ranger,
Mommy. Yeah.
original Black Ranger. And with the Black Ranger, Walter Jones, I was actually a guest in a convention in Indonesia, and then he was also a guest. So we actually got to bond
Hmm.
during that weekend in Indonesia, and that's where we filmed our skit in Indonesia. So that was cool.
So remember, the Black Ranger is not the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because everybody thinks it's Wayne Brady. You
No,
know
no,
what I mean? No, so it's a different dude. Okay, so now with it going on, did you ever get to meet the Pink Ranger?
um, Amy Jo Johnson. No, I guess she's yeah. You know what? She's the only OG that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet. Hopefully in the future.
All right, Amy
She was
Jo.
like, she was everything I wanted to be. Like when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I was just like, I just want to be the Pink Ranger. I just want to be Kimberly. That's all I want in life.
And you
And my
wanted to tell me?
yeah, I wanted Tommy. We're talking about Chris here. Okay, so Chris, you've got your YouTube, you've got all this content. In comes all of these unboxing videos of
Hmm.
these incredibly cool things that you have started collecting and have been collecting for the past couple of years. What to you are some of your most prized collections, like your most prized pieces?
Do
Like
you have any with you?
toys, yeah, that you can.
Um, yeah, I guess this is not the original. I wanted to show you something brand new that I haven't even made an unboxing video yet. But
Oh my
exclusive. So this uh for a lot of people, they know that I'm a huge Green Ranger fan. So a company in Indonesia made this custom Green Ranger helmet for me.
Oh,
my gosh, monsters, head on over to facebook.com/RX91 or YouTube so you can see it for yourself. Whoa!
Actually, there are still some parts that have to be connected, but this is the main unit, kumbaga. And
oh.
I haven't made a video yet because I actually was gonna make a video like the week of my surgery if I didn't have a surgery. So, yeah, so this will have to be for next year, and then this is a this is the Green Ranger
Oh, the
dagger.
dagger.
Yeah.
Does it
So
have a
there are
sound when you press it? Does it make a
yeah.
sound? Choo-choo. Oh my God. That is so cool.
So there are a lot of versions of this now. This is the latest one, and people always ask me, "You already have two. You want another one?" Of course.
Oh,
So
Chris.
currently, I live with my wife in a condo. So the bulk of my collection, they're still in my childhood home. So I couldn't really. Uh, I like I have a office in my childhood home,
Yeah.
and all of the stuff are there. But here, my wife calls the shots, so I
Yeah.
only have a few places. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, that
Hey.
is the secret. That is the secret. So good job in remembering that, Chris. I mean, those are epic. Those pieces are so cool. And to have something custom made for you, that's when you know you've arrived,
Yeah,
man.
right?
My gosh. Okay, Rico asks this question all the time, but I feel like we need to ask it to Chris too. When people abroad watch your videos on YouTube, you earn more, right? The revenue is a lot bigger if people from the States or Europe are watching your videos, and you've got millions upon millions of views. Now, Rico asks this all the time. When you got your first major paycheck from YouTube, what was the craziest or most expensive thing that you purchased? Because I mean, you have all of these collectibles, right? And those aren't cheap. So, top of your head, most expensive thing, it doesn't even have to be a toy that you purchased with your first big paycheck?
I don't remember like uh I, I'm I'm very kuripot.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Like if I were to spend that much on something, like a big something, like I think this would better go to the mortgage. It's something as boring as that. I would so I guess the most that's a very good question. But I guess not on my very first paycheck from YouTube, but I guess like years down the line, I've always wanted to have a Les Paul Gibson.
Oh, nice guitar.
So
Wow.
that's one of the more expensive things. Na if I was like in college, I would never think I would ever get. And then yeah, that was a very that was a nice feeling to have. Like,
Mhm.
oh shucks, I can buy myself a legit Gibson guitar, and
You
and
know,
and that money is not like you know like as you save to buy a guitar. It's like I just had the money to buy it. That was the nice thing. But I don't really splurge on super high end stuff. Like
Mm.
I guess that's the Chinese in me. Like I'd rather save it for like when I have like appendicitis. That stuff.
Look at him adulting hard, man. That is
Well, a Les
um,
Paul Gibson is not cheap. This is
Yeah,
about
it's
over
not. It's
100 grand.
yeah.
So if there's a reissue one that's about in the 50 grand series, but it's over 100 grand or more, especially the
Yeah.
legit one. Now, when it comes to collecting Power Ranger stuff, what's the holy grail that you haven't acquired yet that you're dreaming of getting? Was it a certain artifact from the show itself?
Um, I guess it would be really cool to have the Green Ranger Morpher that was released during the same time as the show.
Mhm.
But I don't think they released the Green Ranger version in America. They released the Japanese version, the Super Sentai version.
mhm.
But that is like super holy grail because it's so old and it's there are only a few that are still sealed, and those go up in price like crazy. So I guess if there was a holy grail that if by chance the price is not insane as it is now, that is something that I would love to get.
Man, imagine that, Carla. To have that in hand and in stock. Now, for those that are starting out any kind of collection, Chris, do you have any tips for them? And for those that are looking to do some unboxing as well, do you have any tips for them for those who want to create an unboxing video?
I guess for the first question, just buy what you like, uh, because something as collecting has to come from passion, and there's no passion if you collect something that you just know it's worth a lot. So that's I started my collection with music figures like McFarlane, Jimi Hendrix,
Mhm.
Kiss action figures. So I started talaga with those types of figures, and it
Mhm.
just spawned to all the other things I was interested in. So if you want to start collecting, collect the stuff you are passionate about.
Yes.
And there are two types of collectors: there are those who keep it in display, is still in its packaging, or those collectors who open to play. There's no right or wrong. It's how much you are of like it's just a different type of collector. Uh,
Mm.
I have I have stuff that I open because you just want to feel it. You just want to feel
Mhm.
the plastic. But there are stuff na in my book, I guess a rule: if it looks good, in the box there's like a plastic window to show the toy, I would keep it in the box. But
Okay.
if it's a box that it's literally a box covered, then why keep it in the box? You
But you
open it
can
up
rock it
and
out.
show it. And I guess the uh, tips on unboxing videos, I guess it's not more. I guess it's a more general sense that you can include unboxing videos in. You just have to. How's this? Look, I'm not. Look at my face. It's not. It's not like a la Brad Pitt or stuff. I mean, it's not. You have to have personality.
Mhm,
That's the thing. So I am. I am. You know, geeky, wacky.
mhm,
Uh, the one thing I love about doing these fan films is that I actually uh, get to bring out the Jim Carrey in me, because Jim Carrey was my guy growing up, and then just the facial expressions. That's really what I like showing to the world.
mhm.
But yeah, when it comes to vlogs, unboxings, or even fan films, you have to really bring, I guess, yourself. You can't fake this shit. Oops, sorry.
Mhm.
You can't fake.
This
Hey,
stuff.
Mario.
You can't. You
It's
know,
true.
the YouTube audience, they're the most intelligent
Mhm,
you can ever get as a critic, because they're pretty honest. They don't take any bull. They know if it's fake.
mhm,
So be yourself,
mhm,
and if you're lucky, uh, that there are people who like your uniqueness, then that's
mhm,
the best. There are millions, thousands, or maybe thousands, thousands of vloggers,
mhm,
thousands of unboxers, thousands of makeup tutorials.
mhm,
You know, why are there people who are more successful than others? Don't tell me it's politics, because there's no
mhm,
politics when you're facing a camera.
Yep.
It's about you. It's about who you are. If you showcase who you are, your uniqueness, your passion, if it's shown on screen, then more often than not, people will just gravitate towards you.
mhm.
Uh, yeah, because like my wife, she's the editor in chief of Cosmo Philippines, so I get to see a lot of makeup tutorials when she's doing her stuff, and you really know who just wants to get into YouTube, and those who really love it.
For
So
those that are tuned in, we have Chris Cantada is joining us. He's sharing with us how it is to be a YouTuber, sharing content. And, your wife, you said, being the editor of Cosmo, did she ever give you tips na parang, okay, Chris, medyo, kailangan tighter content tayo dito, that kind of thing? Did she ever give you
yeah,
pointers? Or
yeah,
bahala ka sa buhay mo?
I'm the one who, because what's nice about digital is everyone is trying to go digital, and since I started digital earlier than her, she's the one asking me all these tips. So in life,
Aw.
the wife is always on top, but for this one, I'm the one on top.
Man, okay, so we know that you have also shoes, kicks.
Yeah,
Tell
I
us
got
about
some
your
right
collection.
here, ready
Oh,
to
you have
show.
some. Go
Show us.
ahead.
Show us.
So, okay, I guess just like every Filipino who was born in the 90s,
Mhm,
Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, they're the they're the ones who I really idolized in 93, 94, 95. And when you're in a Filipino school, basketball is the thing. You try to get into the team in the playoffs, which I never did,
mhm,
but you try to flex your shoe game. And
mhm,
syempre, when you're in grade school, you're limited to what your parents will allow you to get. And unfortunately, I did not have like the super nice shoes.
Mhm.
I think I got one Jordan, and I had to. I got it at the factory outlet, so it had to be really cheap.
Okay.
So my parents were like that, don't buy expensive shoes because uh, the kids might just step on them and steal them.
Can we see? Can we see your kicks?
So this one, I got into Jordans again as an adult, just like when I said about Gibsons.
Uh-huh.
It's nice as an adult to buy your own stuff.
Mhm.
So my first Jordan I bought was plain white. It was a Jordan 5, and I wanted to make it my own. So I
Uh-huh.
asked one to customize it into
Wow.
my
Nice. Did you
character.
have someone paint that? You have somebody painted that?
Yeah, someone local, Style Your Kicks on Instagram.
Is that Albert Lou? He's my homie. If it's Albert Lou,
Oh, no,
is it?
it's not.
It's a
So
different dude.
yeah, so it's
Nice, nice,
Jordan 5, but it's my Ranger 5 now.
nice, nice.
So talagang this thing got reignited when The Last Dance came out.
Mhm.
I went all in. Like I remembered how I was feeling as a kid, wanting to get Jordans, and I just realized, man, I'm an adult. I can buy whatever I want. I don't need my parents to tell me what not to buy. And then the whole quarantine was all online shopping
Mhm.
for Jordans.
What else have you acquired? Can we take a look at what you acquired? I saw you do the Green Ranger stuff too. The green one.
So, uh, Rico, since I see some shoes behind you, I'm
Mhm.
sure you know that a couple of weeks ago, Jordan Manila, what do you call this?
Drop the limited edition one, right?
Yeah, and I don't have any, like, I have no contacts whatsoever. As you know, in the shoe community, you always have to join raffles.
True.
It's not like, oh, I have the money, I can buy it. No, if you're lucky enough to win the raffle, that's when you can buy it.
Mhm.
So just like everyone in the Philippines, they joined this raffle when they found the Jordan 4 Manila was only limited to freaking 150 pieces.
Mhm.
And I woke up the next morning after the raffle and said, "You won!" And
Got it.
boom!
Whoa! Hey,
This
nice.
and because it's green, I loved it even more
Mm.
because I love the Green Ranger. So I had a photo shoot with the green helmet and stuff. But yeah, it's so nice. It's a nice feeling buying something at retail,
Mhm.
but it's like worth so much more. When I won this, so many people messaged me like, "Sir, how much are you selling? How much are you selling it?" I'm like, "I'm wearing it out of the store."
Mhm.
So you know,
So
I'm
what
so
are the
happy.
rules? If you wear it out of the store, for those who don't collect shoes and those who collect shoes, it's
I,
considered.
I was yeah. When you wear it, it's not brand new anymore.
Mhm.
So the market value goes down
Mhm.
tremendously
Mhm.
once you wear it. It's not brand new dead stock. But I was really going to wear it outside the the store because I was gonna shoot a video and photos wearing it already. So I wasn't afraid to own up to it, to really buy it, to wear it, and not to resell. But what's nice about what Nike did, what Jordan Manila did, is that everyone was required to wear it out of the store.
Mhm.
So that was a nice thing, but still, there are still a lot of people who resold it at crazy prices for
Okay.
like 350,000 pesos. That's
And
like
wow.
a freaking secondhand car.
But
But yeah,
if it's passion, and you got to keep on, you got to keep on keeping on when it comes to collecting and all that. But for you, what's the most prized collection that you have that's on the top of everything that you got? That if there was a fire at this very minute, which one will the one that you would save?
oh man, these Jordan 4s, I think, because uh, everything else I can just buy again. Everything
Mhm.
else I can, like helmets, I can just have it made. But these Jordan 4s, they're only 150 in the world. So I'm grabbing these.
Mhm. So that's what it is, huh? It's the MJs. But for those that are watching us via, of course, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and also on air, we have Chris Cantada, major collector, sharing with us what he has been. It's actually this is at his house. Most of his stuff is actually at his parents' house as well. So where can they check out some of the complete collection and all that?
I think I've had videos of like my collection tour on my channel. So I think if they, I don't think I have a current one, but like a couple of, like I think a year ago I had like a room tour. So
Mhm.
on my YouTube channel, there's like a room tour video there.
So you
But
got to
it's
go.
so crazy, because of my whole love for shoes and shoes. They're especially Jordans. They're not cheap. It's like if you asked me a year ago, hey, you need to buy shoes. How much are you willing to spend? I would say like 1,000, 2,000.
Mm.
The cheapest Jordan is like what, 8? So it's a crazy new shift in my thinking when it comes to purchasing shoes. So I started to sell some of my old Star Wars uh, figures that are just in crates now. Like I
Mm.
have I have toys that are displayed. Those are the
Mm.
my picks for sure that I want to keep. But I realized I've been collecting since third year high school, and I have stuff that are just rotting away, still in its packaging. So it's not technically rotting away because it's still pristine, but it's just in crates in my old childhood bedroom.
Benta
So
na yan.
exactly. So I sold a lot of it already because I feel if you're sayang, it's not being loved, and it would be nice to pass it on to some other folks who would love it more
maybe
than I do
maybe
right now.
your kids in the future. We did have Rick Harrison of Pawn Stars. He did join the show
Mm.
before, and he was sharing with us that if it says collector's item on the box, make sure it's not a collectible because the price value won't be as high. But I could imagine you, man, one day going to Pawn Stars and actually just talk. Would you see yourself going to Pawn Stars or pawning any of your stuff in the future?
I don't know if I have another appendectomy, probably, but but I don't think I think that will only happen if I'm literally out of money. And
Mm,
luckily enough, uh, I, me and my wife were in a stable working environment.
mm,
So yeah, I'm still good. It's not like I'm buying Ferraris and stuff, but
mm,
I am I'm still good. I don't need to pawn anything for now.
mm.
Hopefully.
It's such a great thing that you share with us your collections and everything. But what do you think is the kid in you that gets you to keep on collecting? And whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Jordans or Power Rangers, what is it something in you that's like, all right, cool, I gotta go get this, and you keep it fun? What's the secret behind that?
I I always say that everything could age, but your sight when it comes to how you see things
Mhm,
stays the same.
mhm,
So when I see something that brings back so many good memories, it really excites me. So there are a
mhm,
lot of collections now that they retro, and when I see that figure, it just brings you, just like how music takes you back. I guess toys take you back as well
mhm,
to when you wanted this figure, but it was either too expensive, your parents didn't allow you, or it was just out of reach for some reason, and
Mhm.
that's the whole thing for me. And I think for most collectors, adult collectors, is you collect stuff that you didn't have as a kid.
Mhm.
So
And
yeah.
to complete, like for example, for me as well, GI Joes was the
Mm.
thing. It was a big thing. Now there's so many people here messaging, man. Like Alexander Lopez. He has a long one, and he's gonna block the screen when we post it. He says that, "Hello, Chris. I'm a Power Rangers fan. I was a series, a child, 3 years old when I used to watch the Power Rangers as well. And me, my favorite color is the Blue Ranger, year 2019. Watch your favorite Power Rangers Dino Charge on Yay channel on TV Box. Also a fan favorite. So he's a big fan of the
Cool.
Power Rangers. We're excited, man, for the collection. So for 2021, Chris, what is it that we are looking forward to for you?
Um, I have no idea. That like this whole year, 2020 was pretty much trying to stay on your toes.
Mm.
Like for me, as a fan film producer director, uh, I I love shooting, fight scenes outdoors, shooting on location, and obviously 2020 uh, really stopped all that. So I had to really think on my feet.
Mhm.
So I had to learn how to create uh, content like skits that I didn't have to leave my place. So I
Mhm.
started using green screen a lot. I started directing actors via Skype.
Mhm.
So they had to have their own like camera, which is really cool because the iPhones are pretty decent now. So they can
Mhm.
just shoot their own scenes
Mhm.
while I watch them shoot it. So I direct them doing it, and then
Mhm.
I just edit them all together. And that's actually something that I learned, that it's actually possible to do,
Mhm.
because when I film like American actors,
Mhm.
I have to be obviously there in LA to shoot some Power Rangers actors, but I actually got to film, four Power Rangers actors
Mhm.
via Skype. So I actually got more content now when it comes to that, when it comes to collaborating with American actors, because we didn't have to schedule a meet. We didn't have to schedule when I fly out there. We just did it via Skype, and that was pretty fulfilling for me.
Mhm.
So if 2021 is pretty much the same as now, I think it would still be me trying to put out content whilst
Mhm.
still, being safe when it comes to quarantine or socially
Social
distancing.
distancing and
Yeah.
all that.
So
So Chris,
hopefully I start to, I don't know. I'm very much excited to start shooting outdoors again. Yeah.
Chris, Carla's joining us. If those wondering, Carla, we've been talking about a shoe collection. He was been showing off the holy grails of all holy
I
grails
was
of
telling
shoes.
all the monsters on air to head on over to Facebook and YouTube because Chris was going to show it there. It was going to be a monster exclusive on the digital realm. But Chris, you know what? I mean, we wish we could have you for longer. You're probably one of the most entertaining guests we've had, especially because you really are so different. Like I love that you're just celebrating your creativity and who you are as a person. And I know that it has inspired so many people to really just stop being so shy and to just celebrate who they are because that's what makes everyone so fun. It's that we're all unique in our own ways and like you are, I don't know, for me it's like you are like the poster child for it. Like look at me celebrating who I am, over 1 million subscribers, billions of views, whatever. Like it's just so great to see somebody succeed, especially in just being who they are. So congrats, dude. I mean, not everyone can do
Big
that.
up, man.
Really.
Big
Thank
up.
you. Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Do you have any message for all your billions of viewers? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, and all your fans.
Uh, I guess the most important thing is, if for aspiring YouTubers, be yourself. uh, be passionate about something and then grow from that. And then I guess in general, just be accepting of of all different types of fandoms or likes. If someone if someone is passionate about something, support them.
Mhm.
Don't put them down, because I'm sure if you are passionate about something, you wouldn't want to be made fun of. You don't want to be put down. So it's just all about supporting everyone. You know, it all comes down to love.
Mhm.
If you love something, make sure you respect those who love something else.
Now,
Mm,
Chris,
that's my
before we
type
let you
of
go, we know we're about to wrap up. Before we let you go, we got to get your iconic Morphin time
Okay, I'm gonna.
before we got to go. Can we get that? Can we get that from you?
Sure.
Do you have
Here we
your
Uh,
go.
marker? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. To give us his iconic Morphin time, here is Chris Cantada.
it's Morphin time. Dragon Sword. I've said that so many times.
Yeah.
I even
My
don't.
man.
I had to just so we could hear, just Chris's voice. Wow, that empowered me today.
Ah,
Chris,
napaka-manly, di ba?
thank you so
Galing,
much
galing.
for
Chris,
joining
thank
us.
you.
We wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have the best Christmas possible. I want you to have the best one ever. Hopefully, you can eat all of the food that you want to as soon as you can, healthily, because I know you're still recovering. Thank you for
Yeah.
making time for the monster. And
Thank,
thank you
thank
for all of the content that you put out. It's not easy to conceptualize videos, to create videos, to edit them, and whatnot. And you do it, and you do it so well. And you're bringing so much joy to people who really look forward to your videos. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. It really
Thank
means
you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again joining us, Chris Cantada. Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. My goodness, Carla.
oh, he's such a special little being. Like I love him.
I mean, you learn so much
Really.
when it comes to
Oh,
creating, especially
yeah.
when you're here in the Philippines. Discarte talaga, when you can't get the
Yep.
outfits, we could make it happen. And of course, it's all about respecting, you
And
know.
support local, encourage fellow artists and creatives to do what they do. I love this whole concept of community in terms of like cosplayers, toy collectors. They're really trying to find ways to also support each other. And I think that's
Do that.
something that we need to remember. This pandemic is proving to be a lot more difficult than we initially planned. So support one another, whether it be a local business, a local artist, a local content creator, support Filipino and be kind. Like what Chris said, I love that. You can love something and respect people who love something else. I think that's
True,
so
true.
brilliant, especially for right now.
And
Remember that, monsters.
support them so they keep on making a lot of content for those that you love to watch and enjoy. Do support each other, and man, more collections from Chris. I can't wait for him to get I want to see the next content of his to meet the Pink Ranger, and
Oh
he
my
will
God.
be as Tommy. All
Yeah, let's
right,
put
let's put it
it out
out
there
there.
first so it happens for Chris.
Diba?
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool. But for Facebook Live and everybody watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and listening to us on there, thank you guys for taking time. We hope we had to unleash the inner child in you,
Yes.
especially this holiday season here on Monster RX93.1. So then, she is Carla Aguas.
He's Rico Robles live.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, guys.